windows, back.
Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by...
We're live from Bud Plank Field at Archer Arrows Park, inside the confines of the Bill Harris Dealerships press box. I'm Chris Mowry, back for another season. That's Brandon Wells. BW, it's been a minute since we had hoops. Here we are.
Baseball season. It doesn't feel like baseball season out most of the time during March, but we're ready for it. Players are ready for it. Coaches are ready for it. But you never know. March is a fickle month. Baseball season in the spring in Ohio is a difficult one, but we are excited to get going in baseball season. The Arrows coming off of a great season last year, looking to kind of keep that momentum going this year, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. 18-7 last year, 9-5 in the OCC. Finished fourth. Obviously, we'll get into that in a little bit more detail, but first, we want to give thanks to Bo Lacey Construction. They're sponsoring the preview show here today, the Arrows Baseball Preview Show in 2025. We got a good show, BW. We've got seniors, 3 seniors coming up. Alex Grissinger is here. Michael Franz going to join us. Tyler Holt's going to join us, and then we'll round out the program with head coach Rick Goff and assistant AJ Beer.
Yeah, always looking forward to talking to the players to kind of get the pulse of what's happening, and then the coaches as well, because it's a different perspective when you talk to guys on the team versus the coaches, and you know, you get that, try to get that 360-degree evaluation of what's happening and what they expect for the season. And, you know, baseball always comes down to pitching, Chris, and the Arrows lost a lot last year.
Yeah, well, we lost a Tuesday starter in Luke Bryant. We lost a Wednesday starter in Logan Falk, and then we lost kind of the glue guy that came in and, you know, a situation maybe in the fourth inning, the fifth inning, whatever, and Owen Shea that come in and, you know, kind of change speeds from what Luke and Logan offer, and he was able to get hitters out front, a lot of ground ball outs, and we're going to miss him too. And we're also going to miss Troy Shade. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, well, mostly we will miss Troy firing up the grill and doing all that. But, yeah, you know, anytime you lose a couple guys like Logan and Owen and Luke, I mean, that's not normal guys to lose. You're losing, you know, some high-level pitching. But the Arrows are ready to reload, Chris. I don't think there's any reason to expect any major step back from last year with the guys that are back.
I'm excited to hear about it. And, you know, Alex Grissinger, Camden senior year, he threw some innings on the mound, right? And he was really effective. You'll remember a game we called up here.
I might remember it. I might not. I don't know.
He had that spinner pitch. That's what I coined spinner pitch. You didn't like that
No,
much.
spinners. No. You can't say spinner. It's offensive as a player. That means it's one that's just kind of spinning. Right? Grizz knows what I'm talking about.
I say it with all due respect.
Sure.
So it's in the guy who delivers it and how they're intending it. But we've got Tyler Holt back this year as well. He was 4-0 last year. Miles Farnsworth was a big surprise for this squad last year as well.
Yeah, Miles, you know, I wouldn't say came out of nowhere because I think some of his friends and his teammates expected it once they saw him in practice. But for a guy that young to come in and provide some innings and some great defense over at third as well, I think you're looking for him to take another step this year. It's a big jump, right? It's a big jump going from that year to this one. And you know, you hope that guys have worked hard in the offseason, and I know most of these guys, and there's several BO guys, baseball-only guys, that have really worked their tails off to get themselves ready for this season. A lot of them going on to play college ball at the next level in the next couple years. But it always comes back to pitching. We talked about it, Tyler Holt, Miles Farnsworth, Alex Grissinger, and then who else steps into that? Evan DeHinden, some of those guys that we've heard and we'll hear more from Coach Goff and Coach Beer about later, and we can't wait to see. And the season starts tomorrow, you know.
I can't wait.
Right, we got preview show today, game tomorrow against Clyde, assuming the weather holds. It's Ohio, you know, wait 10 minutes if you don't like the weather, and then Saturday against Tiffin Columbia, and we'll have both those games and all of the home games this season.
Hey, we start these broadcasts when I'm on the mic the same way every time, and we give thanks to the local businesses that make this possible. I say it every time. This doesn't happen without these folks. So you want to give thanks back, go see these businesses, give them some business, and tell them thank you for joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. Sarver Paving, Bo Lacey Construction, Hedstrom, Priest Dental, Wickham and Hess, Whitaker Myers, Goldberry Roasting, Comfort Control, BB&C Car Care, Linway Restaurant, Truax Printing, Valley Transportation, Ashland Eye Care, Truly Inspired Paper Company, Andrew Bush, I'll say it this time,
that's okay.
Law Office,
right.
Bill Harris Dealership, Simon's Construction, 419 Barbershop, Sid Suds, and Janny joining us this season.
And the preview show brought to you by Bo Lacey, and they'll be with us all season long. You'll see some different elements on the broadcast this year, a little better graphics package we got going, and just, some better cameras. A little bit every time we do a sport, we seem to get just a little bit better. Well, I don't know about you and me, but the presentation gets a little bit better.
It just depends on who you ask. If you ask the biggest, littlest Arrows fan in all the land, he loves it.
Yeah.
He's like, I am Uncle Chris, but he calls you Uncle Brandon too. You just don't know about it.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hey, two quick things we got to say. I have to say thank you to you. I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but
oh boy,
super big thank you to you for cleaning the press box. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This was dirty when we got up here a couple of days ago to put our stuff together. You grabbed the Lysol and the paper towels and you cleaned this thing up, so I appreciate that.
Well, listen, I'm happy to do it. I don't need any credit for that. It's just clear when you have a clear desk and a clear office, you work better, right? And so it's the same thing when you're coaching. You want to make sure the dugout's spotless. You want to make sure that when you go on the road, that you leave things better than you found it. And that's sort of one of the core values here at Ashland City Schools. Superintendent Steve Paramore with those core values talks about it all the time. And that's one of them. Chris, you're welcome.
We've had a 3-man crew up here. 2 of us are on mics. 1 of us, we're on the mic here going out to the public address system. We've lost Dr. Survey.
We have lost Dr. Survey, but Brandon Gunder, who helps us with football and occasionally with hoops, will be doing all the PA announcing and
it'll be fun.
Run the audio. Who knows what
Gunda.
The mean machine will come up with. Hey, we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Hey, start over. Maybe I should open up the audio.
Welcome back to the Arrows Preview Show here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. And we're joined by senior shortstop Alex Grissinger. Thanks for taking the time, Chris. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You're getting old hat at this, man. I mean, you're like in the fall, you're up there a few times with me, and then out baseball a couple times now, and you're going to maybe a pro career as a broadcaster.
I don't know about that.
You never know, man. You never know. Look, you're going to go to Lake Erie next year, and congratulations.
Thank you. And
I will tell you that for people out there, they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to get on a team and get recruited to the next level. And Lake Erie's a good D2 school. I mean, you're talking high-level baseball, and I talk to guys at AU all the time about it as well. Look, you're in the 1% of guys that are going to play at that next level. So congratulations. I know you're excited. You've spent a lot of time in this offseason. What did that look like?
It was just a lot of time in the field house. I mean, hitting, throwing, lifting. I'm very blessed to be able to play 4 more years of baseball, and that was ultimately the goal for me.
So the Arrows squad, we talked about a little bit in our open, is going to look a lot different than last year. Last year, you were able to put some guys on the bump that could flat out hum it in there. Luke Bryant, Logan Falk. Those guys have been pitchers around here since day one that they got in high school. Little different look. Tyler Holt can pump it in there pretty good, but then it looks like, some unknowns. We saw Farnsworth quite a bit last year, but what are you expecting from this squad this season?
I'm actually expecting us to be really good on the mound. We got, obviously, returners, and then Evan and Noah Merrill. He's a lefty. He's going to kind of take an Owen Shade role and probably a weekend starter. And I think those 2 guys are really good, and I think Miles is coming back as a sophomore. Holt's better. I think everybody has improved this year, and I'm really excited to see what they can do.
What about you? You going to get some mound time?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Yeah.
Look, baseball's a long season in many ways, but also it's condensed, right? It's a long season, meaning there's a lot of games, but it's jammed into about 6 weeks. And so everybody has to be all hands on deck, ready to go. What are your expectations and your hopes personally for this season?
For me, I mean, obviously there's stats, but this year I really don't want to look too much into it. I really just want to focus mentally, and I just want to enjoy playing the game. And I think that's what I'm trying to realize this year is this is a game. This is a kid's game, and I want to have a lot of fun doing it. So I just want to work mentally, being able to flush anything bad that happens and just going out there and enjoying it.
You got to have fun. I tell people, I coached at the high school and the college level, and I always told my guys, look, if it's not fun, you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, of course, there's work to it, right? And there is work, and there's a right way to go about it. But you're right. If you're not having fun, man, it's a game, right? Yeah.
Do you wish you could go back it's wisdom. You'll never stop doing this. The older you get, the smarter you get, the wiser you become.
Some of us.
Do you wish? Yeah, thanks. Do you wish that you could go back and tell 14-year-old varsity baseball player Alex Grissinger what you just said?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I think everybody does, right?
It's just being a senior now and being here all 4 years, I just realized how much growing there has been, and I'm very thankful to be in that place just to see myself grow up, my teammates grow up, and I think anybody that's young out there listening, I think the number one thing is to have fun. And,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Brandon Wells, Chris Mowry here with senior shortstop Alex Grissinger. Grissinger, you kind of led into it. You're more of a leader. You have to be more of a leader, this year just by being a senior. What does that look like for you? You said, you wish you could kind of go back and tell 14-year-old Alex some things. So what are you going to tell the young guys on this squad?
I think this year I think every year has a different dynamic, and I think this year we're really focused. I think we're on the younger side, but I think a unique thing that we have this year is that a lot of these guys only play baseball, and baseball is their number one sport. So I think when they come out here, they're locked in. And I'm not saying that like years past we've been messing around, but I think we're really locked in. So I think it's been a real treat for me to guide people and show them where to focus and where maybe to divide their focus up.
What's going to make the Arrows, this is a question we ask, doesn't matter if it's hoops or football, baseball, whatever, what's going to make the Arrows successful in 2025?
I think historically we need to score runs. We need to manufacture them any way we can.
I love that answer. That's absolutely right. I mean, if you don't put digits and crooked numbers on the scoreboard, it's going to be tough. So I'm with you. Any way you can do it, whether it's hit and run, get a bunt down, get the ball in play. And I say all the time on these broadcasts, we have to limit the defenseless outs, and those are strikeouts, right? And if we can get our strikeout numbers down, put the ball in play. I don't care if it's a routine grounder, the shortstop, right? You're making him come in, field the ball, transition, make a good clean throw to first. The first base got to catch it, touch the bag, all before you get 90 feet down the line. Really big, and I agree with you. If we can do that better this year, more success in store.
We've talked hitting, pitching, and a little bit of defense, but a couple more questions for you. What pitcher in the OCC has kind of historically given you fits? What teams are you looking at out there that are going to be some of the top competitors for the crown?
I know Worcester's always good. They have 3 Akron commits now, so I'm excited to play them. I think it's going to be a really good challenge for our guys, and we play them, I think, week 2, so that's going to be an early challenge. I think everybody's excited to face them, hopefully knock off and get a win. And they always have good They always have a good pitching staff.
Right, yeah. What's your favorite place to play in the OCC?
I really like the dynamic of Bud Plank. I think Bud Plank. I'm excited for Worcester to turf their field, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whenever that
someday
comes.
Here, maybe. Someday here, maybe.
It's going to happen someday.
Yes, sir.
Senior shortstop Alex Grissinger joins us here on the Arrows Preview Show. Come on back right after this.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction. Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Let's go. Welcome back to the Arrows Preview Show. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells, and joined by senior center fielder Michael Franz. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Good to have you.
Of course. Pleasure.
A senior.
All right.
How's that feel? This is it.
Flew by.
Right?
Yeah.
This is it. You're 9 weeks from graduation?
No under now. I'm counting down the days.
I remember those days, but I remember them as a teacher and as a player because you're also counting the days at the end of the school year. Look, your senior year, I know, a lot of people have asked us, you've been a multi-sport athlete. What's going on after school when you're done here?
Well, I'm going to find out a lot of my college decisions next week, for my regular decision stuff. I'll probably be making my decision where to go to college by next week. As of right now, it looks like Ohio State, no sports in college.
You could play a lot of intramurals there.
I could.
You could be an intramural star there,
I
Franz.
definitely could. But, I'm just excited to focus on my career. I'm going to be an attorney, and it's something I really enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to it. So
that means you can come back and help sponsor some shows back in the.
That's
in the
right.
future.
That's what, me and Holt have talked about that.
Yes,
so yeah.
Holt and
Holt want to be an attorney too?
No, but he and I want to come back and give money to the program.
I love it.
Oh, that's great.
That sounds
Good
awesome.
For you. Good for you.
Yeah.
What kind of law do you want to practice?
Corporate law. So the business side, contracts,
That's
mergers.
where the money is.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So all the seniors on the football squad that I interview, when we have that segment about the kids, I ask them when they want to be a doctor or attorney or whatever. I say, be honest, is it all about the cash?
No, of course not.
It's not all about the cash?
It's not. No, I really enjoy it.
That's
law
awesome.
stuff. I
Good.
mean,
Good for
that's
you.
just an added benefit.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, well, look, the team's going to be a little different this year. You guys lost several of your top-end starters and some guys that were leaders. How have you and the upperclassmen helped nurture this younger group? Because it is kind of a younger group. Grizz just talked about it. What are the expectations with that young group?
I think they've done a really good job coming in. They've been working hard since September. A lot of us upperclassmen in football, and I feel like Grizz, Kaiser, and Dennis, they've done a really good job of leading these guys when we're not there. And then once me and Holt got there, we got to work, and we really just been leading by example, I feel like, and they just soak it up. They listen to us. They do what we do, and I think they've done a really good job of catching up.
Your speed's been a weapon as long as you've been at Ashland High School, whether it's on Friday nights over here, at Community Stadium or here on the baseball field. How do you, last year I think you had 18 steals or something like that, several extra base hits. How do you even plan to take that to the next level? It seems like I don't think you're getting thrown out from first to second, and I think oftentimes, your success rate from second to third on stolen bases in my book would be 80% plus. How do you plan to take more advantage of getting extra bases?
Obviously it starts with getting on base first. So once I get on base, you just really want to get a read on the pitcher, and you really want to help everybody out too, because just because I'm stealing bases doesn't mean that everybody else can. They all have the ability to. So everyone really we all look for the same reads. We help each other out. We get back in the dugout. We tell people what we see. And you just really take advantage of the timing. A lot of pitchers, especially in high school, they follow the same timing. They pause for a couple seconds and then they go to the plate, and that's something you can use to your advantage, especially on second base. If you're trying to take third, a lot of times the pitchers won't even look to second base. I'll get a huge lead and I'll just take off.
Yep.
Coaches just let me take off.
Or a one-looker.
Yeah, they look back,
Yep.
and I'm like, all right, not looking back again. I take another couple steps, and I'll take off, and I'll take third.
I love the aggressiveness because, the more aggressive you can be, you can cause mistakes, especially in those situations, right, Mike? Because sometimes, even if the guy starts to pick you, he might balk, he might throw it away, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, right? And it's like, okay, now we're playing the circus music and we're running the bases just by being aggressive. What do you think? I think that's going to be a key this year, being aggressive. What do you think the keys are going to be for you guys to be successful?
I think our pitching is really strong this year, even with the loss of Luke.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of guys that are consistently throwing strikes, getting outs. So hitting, I feel like that's been probably one of our weaker sides the last couple of years, scoring runs. And so far through the first 4 scrimmages, we've done a really good job hitting the ball. We scored, I think, at least 7 runs in all 4 of our scrimmages, which is a great sign, I think. Everyone's getting the bat on the ball. Our strikeout numbers have gone down from the first scrimmage until the last one.
Especially when it's just cold, right?
Yeah.
You've been playing in the cold weather,
Yes.
so if you're hitting when it's cold and it starts to warm up, right?
Yeah, if you can hit in the cold, you can hit in the hot.
Right.
So, yeah, it's looking good.
Team and personal goals along with expectations for you this year.
Just like I said during football, we're trying to compete for a state championship. If you're not competing for that, what are you doing? Obviously, I think we have a good shot, especially if winning our district, going to regions, going to the state. I'm confident in our team. I feel like we can do a lot of good things this year.
I love that so much. When I coached high school ball, it was like, no, we're playing for a state title. I don't care if we won 1 game last year or 20. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The goal is always the same. What OCC team do you look forward to playing the most this year?
I would say Worcester. They've got a lot of talent, a lot of D1 guys, a lot of guys going to college. I don't think I've ever beat them in high school baseball. And to be honest, I really don't like Worcester at all. So, I really don't like Worcester. So
You heard it.
It'd be awesome.
You heard it, Wayne County.
It'd be awesome to go and get one. At least one.
Michael
Hopefully more.
Franz looking for his first win against Hooster, and I'm here to call it. I hope it's here at Bud Plainfield Archery Rose
sir.
Park. We'll be right back with senior Tyler Holt right after this.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
This guy is at the T Holt on Twitter. I had to look that up today when I tagged him, and I had to search and search and search. I'm Chris Mowry, Brandon Wells, and this is senior pitcher Tyler Holt. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Your first appearance on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network outside of being a big-time player on Friday night.
It is, yeah. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah?
Yep.
So tell us about what you're doing here post-graduation. I know what you're doing, but tell everybody out here, all the listeners.
I'll be attending Clarion University and playing baseball there and studying business.
Why Clarion? I know you had a lot of offers and a lot of people out there looking at you. Why Clarion? What drew you to there?
They have a new coach there, Johnny Poss. He was the recruiting coordinator and hitting coach at Maryland University, and he came in at Clarion, and he had a track record of rebuilding programs. It's something I want to be a part of.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Well, look, I told Grizz, it is not a minor feat to be able to get to the next level. So congratulations. It's something that you should be proud of. You have worked your butt off to get yourself into that situation, and you're in the 1%. So anytime you start to struggle, and you'll struggle, you're going to have some struggles at the college level. I tell guys all the time, look, whether it's writing 1 on your hat, like 1% to remind you of how good you are, or doing it now because you're going to struggle. There's going to be games where you don't have your best stuff. Just make sure you remember how good you are. Pitching staff, you lost a lot of guys from last year to this year. You got a big step up this year, right, into the top of that rotation. What are you looking for as the number one starter and as part of that rotation?
I'm just looking to be the best pitcher I can be and throw strikes and have my defense help me out and win games.
You excited for this challenge?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
You should be, right? I mean, you better be.
Yeah.
So this is it, right? This is the end of your high school career, man.
Yeah, but I do have some big shoes to fill, but I'm ready to fill them.
Yeah.
So last year, 4 starts for this young man. He goes 4-0, throws 33 and a third total innings, 11 relief appearances. This is what I was excited about when I was digging into these stats. A 197 batting average against. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. So is that about hitting spots? Is it about mixing speeds? What is the key to you being successful this year on the mound?
Big thing for me this year is working in a lot more off speed and not just being like a two-dimensional pitcher. Like I only have like a fastball and a curveball, but mixing in a changeup and my sinker this year a lot and hitting more location,
I think you guys have the makings of what could be a fantastic rotation. When you're not pitching, though, where are you going to be playing?
To start the year off, I'll be playing in the outfield, but then with A.J. Workman, our first baseman this year in DH, he can only play half the season due to transfer rules. So once he's done, I'll probably move into the infield playing first and still playing a little outfield.
I'm looking forward to seeing AJ, by the way. I saw him take BP today for the first time. He's a big boy, isn't he?
He's pretty big, yeah.
Can he knock it over the fence?
Yeah, he hit like 3 out the other day.
I saw him hit a couple of one-hoppers out to the fence off of Dew, who was throwing about 40 miles an hour out there. So you need a little more velocity. But look, I'm excited. What do you think the keys are for the whole team to be successful this year?
I think a big key this year is going to be hitting. Like any other year, we got to step up hitting and pitching and playing defense. That's the name of the game right there. Doing all those 3 things good, and you'll win.
A little bit of everything.
Yep.
Expectations for you for the Arrows in 25.
For the Arrows, I expect us to win the OCC, win sectionals, win districts, win regionals, and win the state championship.
Yes, sir. Yes. This is what I love to hear right here, man.
I think we can do it.
He's going to manifest this into happening.
I love it.
Look, we've had some good success this year in the Arrows. Football had a great year. The girls basketball had a great year. Wrestling did awesome. I mean, we got some momentum going here, right?
Yeah, I think this team honestly has a chance to make it all the way. I really do.
I love it. Last question for you. What OCC team do you look forward to most competing against this year?
This year, I look forward to playing Worcester the most just because coming into the year, they're probably going to be predicted to win the OCC. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
That's a Ric Flair right there, right?
Yep.
Woo!
The Golden Boy reference has made its way to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. Senior Tyler Holt joins us. Come on back with head coach Rick Goff and AJ Beer right after this.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
We got the captains of the ship joining us here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. Chris Mowry, Brandon Wells, assistant coach AJ Beer, and head coach Rick Goff join us here on the Bo Lacey Construction Arrows preview show for the 2025 baseball squad. Gentlemen, good to have you.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
It's kind of like a clown car up here. Like four of us just jammed in as tight as we can be. But I feel weird because you guys all have beards and goatees. I actually shaved today. I thought, man, we're going on YouTube. We got to make sure I look good. And you guys are looking much more manly than me. Anyway, look, you guys have been here a while. Coach Goff, I'll start with you. How long have you been here in the program and in Ashland City Schools?
I've been in Ashland City Schools 41 years. And this is my 35th year coaching baseball.
Wow, 35 years coaching baseball.
That's been a minute. What
That's
about you,
awesome.
big boy?
Yeah.
That's great.
I haven't been no 35. I'm only about 9 years.
Are
9
you 35 years old yet?
No.
I had to say it, Coach. Look, I will say you guys started a new tradition of having guys, members of the community come in, throw out the first pitch. It's one of the things that I think is an awesome tradition that you all have started. Is that going to keep going this year, and what's the plan?
Yeah, well, hopefully. We're in the kind of midst of trying to get our announcing taken care of. But we've got Zach Bernhardt, former player, coming in Saturday. We've got Renee Holt and the girls' basketball team later in the year. We've got Tommy Bauer coming in with the wrestling program.
Take down Tommy.
Take down Tommy. I was going to Randy Heller was going to do tomorrow night, so hopefully that gets done. As far as other people, a new one this year is going to be Teacher Appreciation Night.
That's awesome.
I'm going to have my seniors. We've got 6 seniors, or 7 now.
A lot. That's all. Just say a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And they are going to go and to their favorite teacher of all time and get them to come to a game, and we'll honor them.
That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Pre-game.
Yeah, you got Justin Kaiser, Tyler Holt, Isaac Abel, Alex Grissinger, Michael Franz, Noah Dennis, and then you've got Tyler Sauter as well, kind of being in there as a part-timer like Deion Sanders.
Wait, what'd you say? Double nickels.
Double nickel,
Double
Tyler
nickels
Sauter.
is coming out?
Yep.
Number 5 wasn't available, so he said, "You know what? I'll be 55."
Sauter boy.
Yeah.
Like to see it.
What's he going to do?
Track athlete first, and then coming to play baseball.
Okay. All right. You, where's he going to play possibly?
He could DH or he'll be in left field.
Okay.
I imagine he can track down a ball. Yeah.
I think he can track down. Kickoff tomorrow, obviously, against Clyde. The Flyers come into town. We talked about that. What can Arrow fans expect to see from this year's squad?
I think we've got, I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised. We've got a number of newcomers coming in. We've got 3 sophomore pitchers. Evan DeHinden is new to the program. He's going to be our number 3 pitcher. Noah Merrill is a sophomore as well. He's a lefty. He'll be our number 4, and he'll also play a lot in right field. He's been a pleasant surprise. We've got Jeff Hickey, another sophomore, coming in. He'll be in right field and left field. We've got, senior Isaac Abel. He'll be on the left side of the infield backing up. He'll be our utility player. He'll back up short, third, and our backup catcher. And then we've got from Mapleton, we've got our transfer,
AJ Workman.
Which we'll have for the first half of the season. He's got some good power.
And he's a junior, right? So he'll have half a season this year and then a full season next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another newcomer sharing first base and DH will be Trent Summers.
Okay.
Those guys will be 4 or 5 in the lineup typically. So so we're excited. We've probably got 7 guys that can steal bases. We've got good team speed.
Going to be a green light this year? You're just going to have AJ over there telling guys, let's roll.
We're going to try.
AJ's just going to say, get a better lead, get a bigger lead.
You got more. You
Take
got
off.
more. Yep.
That's right.
Well, look, we can't wait. I know you guys are getting rolling tomorrow against Clyde and Saturday against Tiffin Columbia, and if the weather holds, and we'll be here all season long for all the home games. Brandon Wells, Chris Mowry, head coach Rick Goff, assistant coach AJ Beer here joining us on the Bo Lacey Construction Preview Show, and glad to have you guys. Look, there's no secret you guys lost quite a bit, right? I mean, Luke Bryant and Owen Shade and Logan Falk, and you lost some studs really at the top. But really, we've heard from a couple of your guys, and they all seem really confident about reloading. What are your guys' expectations for the season?
We expect to compete. We expect to go compete for the OCC. We expect to win the sectional and make a good district run. Being the unknown this year is we're Division III. We can go by kind of basketball who's going to be in our sectional. But I'm excited. I think we can compete in the league, and I think we can compete in the tournament.
AJ, what do you think about the OCC and the OHSA tournament?
I mean, I'll add to that. I think we can compete, and you see a lot of sophomores and juniors on the roster, but we've had great senior leadership from September on, and those guys have really led in the off-season program. They're leading now, and those young guys, they're going to be thrown out there, but they've been working hard.
What's that leadership look like, guys? Because, everybody has a different idea of what that looks like from seniors. And I always said, look, that doesn't mean you're yelling at younger kids and say, hey, go grab the equipment. I mean, that's not it, right? I mean, that's the 80s stuff that people used to do. No. What does that look like from those guys?
I mean, you'll see. I mean, like Grissinger's a great example. If someone makes a mistake, he's helping, and I had the team together yesterday talking about bunting, and he added to what my point. Yeah. He said, hey, if you're going down the first baseline or third baseline, you need to angle your bat a little bit this way, a little bit that way. And guys really buy in. They really buy into being player-led.
Yeah, sometimes hearing it from a player is different than a coach, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, you got it.
AJ, tell me from your perspective, Coach Goff talked about newcomers. I want to hear from you too. Like, who's been the exciting newcomer in your mind, and where do you think those guys might, play a big vital role?
So I've been impressed with our sophomore class. Obviously, you have Miles coming back as a sophomore, but he alluded to Noah Merrill. Noah Merrill has really been a pleasant surprise to me because he's really worked hard, and I knew he worked hard going into this year, but he can do a lot of different things, and fundamentally in the outfield, he's one of our best fundamental guys.
Okay. Interesting from a sophomore.
Yeah, and Jeff Hickey's kind of the same way. He's got a little different attributes to him, but he's pretty exciting to watch as well. And I really like a kid. He's not with us yet. I think he has potential to be with us at hopefully some point this year. But a kid on our JV team, Carson Little, he really works hard at his craft
Throws
too.
left-handed, right?
He does.
Yeah, I saw him last year. He's got a rocket.
Yeah, and he's been showing some good things. So I'm confident Coach Obrecht and Bunce and Schmidt will get him developed so that we can have him as well.
Well, that leads me to my next question about the coaching staff. It's a little different this year. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, Coach?
Yeah, this year Justin Dew bumped up from head JV to varsity assistant to kind of mentor Tanner Wolf, our catcher. And Rob was gracious enough to go back down to JVs for a year. So he's leading the JVs, and he's done it before. He'll do a good job there. And Chris Smith's going to help him as well as Larry Bunce. So
Dr. Survey.
We
lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really depressed he doesn't get his free hot dog with pepper butter on it. He was just talking about that the other day.
He would go on the low end of the pepper butter. It's Wells and I that like to just rip our tongue off with that heat. So, he goes for that JV level. So it's perfect for him. Give me the outlook on hitting. Every player we've had so far is, the key to the season, they've talked about hitting. What's the philosophy this year? How do you see this team hitting here in 25?
Well, we've been preaching small ball all winter, and just kind of as a backup plan. And they've done well with bunting. Matter of fact, we had a really good bunting session yesterday. But in our 4 scrimmages, we actually averaged 8 runs.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Now, some of that's due to opponents' errors, but
got to take advantage of them, though.
A run's a run.
Nobody puts an asterisk by it.
No, so
unless they're on the board.
I mean, if we can keep scoring 7-8 runs a game, we're going to win a lot of ball games. Yeah. But I know that that's not a reality. But I think our top 6 hitters in the lineup whoever they may be on any given day will produce. We've got to get production from 7, 8, and 9 to be truly effective.
Yeah, I think you're right. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, so we talked about pitching a lot. We talked about hitting now. What about defense? Defense.
Where do you feel strongest?
Yeah, absolutely. That's massively important as well.
We've got kind of a mixed match. You always want to be strong up the middle. We've got basically a first-year junior starter catcher who was in the program, got some experience last year. Of course, we got Grissinger at shortstop, who, he's going to end up being a 4-year letterman.
Yeah.
And you got Michael France in center field, who can run down just about anything. So, 2/3 of the middle are good. We've got a couple newbies at second base, Justin Kaiser and Jake Bryant. We'll see how they develop and come along.
Yeah, Jake had a couple good games at the end of last season, and Justin seems pretty good defensively from what I've seen. But, yeah, I mean, it's always hard to figure out that flow of giving guys at bats and figuring out, like, how long do you ride with a guy? And that's challenging, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing to do it in practice every day. Now we got to see if they can do it in live action starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I remember seeing guys, there's some years where the weather was just so bad, like you're lucky to get outside before your first week, right? And you're inside in the gym and guys look awesome. You're like, man, that kid's going to be really good.
Yeah, the gym warriors.
And then you get out on the field, you're like, oh, what happened here? And that's hard. That first couple weeks can be a challenge, and the mental part of it, right? You got to just build them up when they do make the mistakes. The schedule for this year, 2024, who's new, who's out? Anything changed?
Really, I mean, the only out would be Mount Vernon.
Oh, yeah.
Since they've moved on, and we did scrimmage them.
Okay.
Which was good. And the only new is Dover, which we're going to play them a traditional back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday, because they're coming into the league next year. Okay. So, that's it. I mean, everybody else is back, which is good and which is bad, I think, because non-conference, we had a pretty good year last year. So.
Sure did, yeah.
AJ, tell me about the OCC. Obviously, if I have to put some odds on this, Worcester's at the top. They are every year, it seems like. What's the likelihood of them being dethroned, whether it's the Arrows or the Quakers or somebody else? How do you handicap the OCC?
Yeah, so Coach Young's got a great program. He obviously is in the favorite to win the OCC, but I think with us in New Philly, I think we can compete with those guys. And I think we have Worcester early, which is always great. You always want a team like that early. And I think we have the horses to do it. So I think us, New Philly, for sure, can compete with them. You look at, we had a couple of tough losses last year. You don't know what Lexington's going to bring. Yep. And so I think we really can compete in the OCC. But if you're asking who the favorite is on paper, I think it's Worcester.
How about you, Coach?
I would tend to agree with that. That's kind of the way it is.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes when you're not the top dog, it takes that pressure off for us to come from not behind, but there's no pressure on us to win the OCC. We're not expected to.
Last year we got off to a great start. We went down to Mount Vernon and swept them. We thought, good. We got the tough games under our belt, and then they turn around and run 10 games in a row in the league.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody's going to be good enough to do that this year. I don't think Worcester's going to do that. I don't think we're going to do that, and I don't think New Philly's going to do that. So it might. I think it's going to be more competitive. We've got 12 league games this year. Maybe 9-3 might get you there. I don't know, but I don't think anybody's that much better than everybody else.
What I like about the league is you have to want it, and I think our guys, especially last year and this year, we wanted it. Last year we really wanted to beat Mount Vernon. We did that. This year, Worcester, we really want to beat, but we also want to get over the hump of beating those teams. So I think we need to we attack them, we get that off the list, and we just keep going. That's my philosophy with it. I'm excited.
Coach, we'll end with you. Closing thoughts on the season upcoming.
Oh, we're excited. We're looking forward to it. I'm not getting any younger, but I mean,
none of us are.
But I mean, it's always great to be able to play baseball and to coach baseball and to be with these young men. I think they've come a long way. I think we've got a great group this year, and we're excited. I really do believe that they believe they're going to win this thing.
I think it's like Christmas Eve. I told a couple of your guys today, right? It's hard to sleep tonight knowing that, at least it was for me as a coach and as a player, like because you open tomorrow, you open Friday against Clyde, and then you got Saturday back to back. Hopefully the weather holds, but you guys got to be excited.
Very, very excited. I told the team before I came up here, don't get so worked up that you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But be excited.
Yep.
Head coach Rick Goff, assistant coach AJ Beer here on the Bo Lacey Construction Preview Show. Come on back right after this. Brandon and I put a bow on it.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome
Welcome back to the Bo Lacey Construction Ashland Arrows Baseball Preview Show 2025 edition. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. Look, BW, we've heard from head coach Rick Goff, assistant coach AJ Beer, seniors Tyler Holt, Michael Franz, and Alex Grissinger. And I have to say, man, the message is the same top down. These guys expect to compete, and they were not shy in saying what their expectations for the season are.
You have to enter every season that way.
Yeah.
And I do applaud the coaching staff for getting them to believe, and for the senior group to think, hey, we can compete for the conference, we can compete for the district, we can compete for the region, we can compete for a state championship. You have to be good, you have to be healthy, but you also have to be a little lucky, right, to make those runs in all of those facets. And so, the Arrows have some good pitching. Do they have the ace level that we had last year? Maybe not, but I think we have some depth. I think we have some guys that can definitely spin it. I think we got some guys defensively that are going to be phenomenal. It always, with this group right now, is going to come down to whether or not they can hit enough, right? And take care of the little things. You don't have to score 6-7 runs a game to win at the high school level if you do the little things well, right? And you take care of the details. And you play a clean game. And you're never going to have every game clean, but that's the goal, right? And effort is something that travels. Defense is something that travels. And so I want to see how they respond, when they get down early, 1-0, 2-1 or whatever. But you're going to have to win some games, 3-2, 4-3, 2-0, that kind of stuff. And they're going to have to do the details well, and including moving guys around and just being aggressive, right, on the bases and at the plate.
Last year this squad hit 284. Right? I think if you watched a number of games, you might think that average is a little higher, but hey, nonetheless, 284. What they took advantage of was putting the ball in play, taking their walks, reaching on errors, and they had a 402 on base percentage. That's really good. Yeah. You can win a heck of a lot of games when you're getting on base 4 out of 10 times.
Yeah, OBS and OPS are way more important than on base or than batting average. I mean, for me, when I'm looking at stats, batting average. I mean, we grew up in the era of batting average where it was important. And I still look at it, of course, but when I was coaching, I started, even 10 years ago, I was really starting to look way more at OPS.
How many times are you getting on base, man?
Yeah,
you got to be on base.
Put the ball in play. Yeah. Limit the Ks. Put the ball in play. Make guys make plays on the defensive side, especially the first week or two of the season, because it's cold, right? It's generally cold, I should say. And guys are a little excited. You heard the coaching staff talk about coming excited but not overhyped, right? You want to play, and I've heard a couple of folks, including VOTF, talk about this. Play with emotion but not emotionally. And there is a difference, right? You want to play with a little emotion, but you don't want to play emotionally.
He said that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he takes his own. I'm not saying he takes his own advice. Just to be clear, but I will say it is true, right? And so I want to make sure. I want these guys to be excited. It's always important to get off to a good start. You got Clyde tomorrow, and you got Tiffin Columbian on Saturday. I hope the weather holds. We'll have all the home games for you this year, and if we make a run in the tournament, maybe we'll make a couple of trips. We'll see. It's a little harder in baseball. I'll just say it that way, because not everybody has this palace that Bill Harris helped us build here in the press box, and so we're fortunate to be able to bring it. And we want to make sure we talk about our sponsors, man. Sarver Paving, Bo Lacey, Hedstrom, Priest Dental, Ashland Eye Care, Truly Inspired Paper Company, Valley Transportation, Andrew Bush Law Offices, Whitaker Myers, Sarver, we already said that, Bill Harris, Goldberry Roasting, I'm still waiting on that Yeti Coopers, Simonson, Bo Lacey, we talked about Whitaker Myers, Comfort Control, Wickham and Hess, 419 Barbershop jumped in this year for the first time on the High and Tight. Right? Anything high and tight is going to be brought to you by, little Buzz, little Buzz the Tower. Yeah, my man Matt Trukovich wanted to jump on because he wanted to be part of the community, and all of these folks have the same kind of approach, right? BB&C Car Care, Sid Suds, Linway, Janney, and Truax Printing, of course, as well. And so we just can't wait for the season. We'll have a preview show, a pregame show rather, and a postgame show, about 10, 15 minutes before the game goes live, before the game tips off, first pitch. How's that?
And then one thing that everybody that watches these broadcasts really excited, we'll have the Wickham and Hess second inning guests this season as well. So we've got a lot of guests lined up, a lot of high hitter community members as well, and Arrow alumni and whatnot. So it's always one of my favorite segments that we do during the game is we talk to people not only that are alumni, but, difference makers in the community and so on and so forth. So it's really cool that our viewers get a chance to hear from them, maybe more on a personal level or what they're doing or so on and so forth. So we'll have that back for you as well. And $7 Creek returns.
$7 Creek returns.
Close to be $6.
We've done a lot of work out there, though. Our facility staff, Randy Heller and company, have done so much work over there to clear it. And Simonson and everybody. Right. So, it's not going to be as many $7 into that creek.
Well, it's going to be $6 soon, my friend, because Doge
I don't think so.
taking care of inflation.
I don't know if you know how inflation works.
I think I know how it works. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells.
Peace.
We'll see you tomorrow for the Flyers and the Arrows. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed. Go Arrows!
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.